Hey guys, how's it going? Another collection video here. What I'm going to do today is a little bit different. I'm going to go through a few of my favorite runs and miniseries, which I've been collecting more and more of lately, just as a way as being able to contain my collection a bit, but still get the stuff I really want. So, famous stories or arcs that I really liked or have heard good things about. And I'll just kind of say a thing or two about each one as I go through them, but I'll probably be firing through the books a little faster just because there are so many more. But this is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Secret History of the Foot Clan. So this was a miniseries that came out with the current run of the Turtles, which is just incredible. Really good writing, especially for a book like this where you think, like IDW, what they do is they often buy old franchises that maybe aren't as popular and try to breathe new life into them. And those kind of things, sometimes you think like you're just cashing in on nostalgia, or that the fact that people will buy it just because they love those characters. And sometimes the stories aren't going to be as good as you might like from other books. But this run has been really great, so I would highly recommend this. What I really liked with this miniseries was this is the first time this guy Mateus Santaluco did the art on the Turtles, and he's been my favorite artist on this series so far. And like, even just look at the Shredder cover, man, so awesome. Basically, it's sort of the history of Shredder, what his origin was, and how he sort of came into the present day. So it jumps back and forth in time and tells a bit about his background, how he became the badass that he is. Just a really awesome miniseries. So there's it's just 4 parts and some beautiful art in there. Krang on the cover of that one. Definitely worth checking out. This is The Return of Bruce Wayne. Really cool miniseries. Basically, they think Batman or Bruce Wayne gets killed, and truly he was sent way back in time by Darkseid, and he has to sort of make his way through time. He keeps time jumping forward. He starts sort of at the early prehistoric grounds of Gotham with these cavemen living there and stuff. And he's building the legend of the Bat and the Batman as he goes. So really fascinating how it's Grant Morrison. And I think there's a different artist on each book. But really fascinating sort of story of establishing the legend that is Batman throughout history. He's sort of unapologetic in that. He doesn't feel like he needs to explain everything or ground everything in reality, and that's okay when you read it. But a lot of fun. My only thing I have against this series is it's really tied into the larger arc that's going on, and I wasn't reading that. So when it gets to that point, and it's a big part of the conclusion, I had no idea what was happening. So the actual like mini issues themselves are good, but the last issue is just really confusing when you don't know the context and everything. So it would have been nice if they packaged it in a way that this could just be a standalone story, and the rest of that story could have been told in a different issue somehow. But yeah, really awesome. Definitely worth checking out. This is Maximum Carnage. This is one of the first runs I picked up. And the story itself isn't super great. Carnage and the Venom and the symbiotes were really big in the 90s and stuff. So they were sort of banking on that with a major event. It's basically Carnage sort of rounding up a team of other villains and going around the city and just murdering tons of people. Just a chaotic rampage. It's sort of like something Spider-Man's never dealt with, and him and Venom have to team up in this, and Venom's like, no, you just got to kill him and put him down, and Spider-Man doesn't want to cross that line, but the situation is so out of hand that he doesn't know what to do. So his parents, I think, are in this issue, or this series as well, and he kind of is able to talk with it through them and stuff before it's revealed they're robots or whatever happened. But so it's okay. The conclusion's actually really good. I was really impressed with the conclusion and how they wrapped it up. But it just goes on for a long time. Oh, these are kind of out of order. Yeah, so there's a lot of like random Marvel superheroes coming in and out of the series. Black Cat's there. Captain America shows up. I think Iron Fist at one point is in there. No more Mr. Nice Venom. Deathlock, you can see. There's that Super Nintendo game in the 90s as well based on this, which is just like a Spider-Man beat 'em up. It was pretty awesome. It was the one game I was not allowed to buy solely because of the name, Maximum Carnage. My mom just couldn't get over that name and was like, nope, doesn't matter. I'm like, it's just a Spider-Man game. She's like, no, you're not buying it. So I'm trying to find it now just to spite her. Rocket Girl was a series that came out last year, and I really, really enjoyed it. And I didn't see anyone else reading it. But beautiful art in here, very bright, vibrant. It's a fun story. It's got sci-fi elements, which I love. Good old-fashioned fun type book. It's not all about killing and murdering and some twisted evil villain that has to be stopped. Like a lot of books are just so heavy. It's nice to have a light story sometimes. So it's about this girl, I forget her name, but she gets sent from the future back to the 80s when the original sort of time machine is going to be built. And she goes back to that when that first time machine is turned on. She shows up and is there to sort of stop this major corporation from taking over in the future. All the cops in the future are teenagers because nobody trusts adults. And she's got some fun tech and stuff like that. And she's always messing with the real cops in New York in 1980s. So a lot of good 80s references. Just a really awesome series. Highly recommended. I really enjoyed this. I think they're going to be doing some more. They've announced some more, but I don't know when the release date is. So this is Deadpool number 15. It's the good, the bad, and the ugly storyline from the Marvel Now series. And I have read a few Deadpool stories now. I think this is the best one I've read to date. Some people really liked this story because what it does is it sort of... Deadpool is kind of a parody of the superhero universe himself. That's why a lot of people were drawn to it originally. He sort of just makes fun of everything. He's silly, he's fun, and also has that violence in there as well. But this one really, it's a real story. It delves deeper into the character. It looks at kind of what's behind the surface, behind all that joking around and seemingly not taking anything serious, and the insanity of it all. And it teams up Captain America, Wolverine, and Deadpool, who are all Weapon X alumni. They have to go to Korea, and they're looking for Deadpool's daughter as well as the mother of his child. And he gets kind of depressed and quiet, and it's just a really great story. It's great action, interesting villain. Overall, just a great 10 out of 10 type story. And if you've kind of like, I know some guys like Travis doesn't like Deadpool that much. So for the guys who don't like Deadpool because he's just so ridiculous all the time, this is a great story to read. I think it's a little more of a serious tone and really great book. Keeping with the Weapon X theme, this is Wolverine Old Man Logan. So it starts at Wolverine 66 of Volume 2. And it's basically an Elseworlds tale, I guess. It's sort of a post-apocalyptic future where all the villains have got together and taken out almost all of the heroes and sort of split America up within to 5 parts or something, and each of the major villains sort of runs one of those sections. Wolverine and Hawkeye go on a road trip across country. You see sort of what's the result of the villains taking over, what that might look like, and you also get some really interesting takes on different characters in the future. So Wolverine's totally broken. He doesn't want to fight. You don't know why. The revelation of how that happened and why is pretty great. You got Venom taking over a dinosaur, which is pretty awesome, from the Savage Land. You got the spider cars in there, just a whole bunch of fun Marvel things. This is a Mark Millar story, so you know it's pretty heavy, but also pretty fun at the same time. So lots of violence. If you're not into that, I wouldn't recommend it. Love this cover with the bullet holes just all through his face. Red Skull. Yeah, just my favorite Wolverine story. If you don't mind the violence and stuff, and it ends with an epic battle with Wolverine and the Hulk, who's gone a little crazy. And I just posted these on my haul video, so I'll do this quickly. This is Batman Hush. Sort of one of these essential Batman storylines. Goes through all the Rogues gallery. Has awesome art by Jim Lee and arguably one of the best DC writers, Jeff Loeb. It's sort of a detective story. It's a mystery. It's a whodunit. And you get to see all the different elements of the Batman universe come together. All the Robins, Batgirl, the Joker, you name it. You got a Superman-Batman fight, Harley Quinn, Catwoman, of course. Yeah, it's all around just an awesome, awesome series. Killer Croc, one of my favorite villains. And to start it off, I went backwards there. And this was just a short mini-series. I think Howler Mouse recommended this one. That's why I grabbed it. This is Mobius and Stan Lee. So Mobius was like a French artist and writer who did some really cool stuff. He sort of, he has this really liney style that you can see here. He does his shadows with lines and things. So it's a pretty unique style. If you've seen other stuff by him, it's like really noticeable. But beautiful stuff. This is called Parable. It's just a short mini-series where Galactus sort of returns. And I think you have to read it sort of as though it were a parable, because it's a lot of things that happen really fast and quickly, and humans don't necessarily make all the decisions you'd assume they would. Like basically Galactus touches down and they all just start worshiping him, and there's a prophet who's like one of these televangelist type prophets who's sort of become his herald in a sense that he's the voice of Galactus on Earth. And it's a really fascinating story in terms of faith and humanity and good and evil, and how man responds to powerful forces around them. Do they worship them or do they resist them? It's a really great story. On the surface, it seems sort of obvious almost, if that makes sense. And there's not a lot to it, but when you sort of delve deeper and think about the message behind the whole story, it's really great. So one of the only Silver Surfer books I have as well, but highly recommend this one. This is Daredevil, The Man Without Fear. It was a mini-series sort of retelling Daredevil's origin. And the new Netflix show, it's going to be based on this, at least the first season is based on this run. So if you've seen that picture, he's in the black outfit. That's sort of Daredevil when he was in college and going out and training and running around town. That's what he was wearing. So a lot of people were up in arms when they saw that costume. But it makes sense if you read this series. So I only have the first 4 parts of this. It's Frank Miller and John Romita Jr. Elektra in there. This is actually a 5-part series. I'm missing the 5th part. Sorry. And Elektra makes a big appearance, but I don't think Elektra is going to be in the show. But yeah, it's a series definitely worth checking out. You can get these for really cheap. I think I got all these out of a $1 bin. So keep an eye out on it. It's a good sort of retelling of the origin. You got Stick in there. You have Daredevil and Elektra's relationship. You have the Kingpin, all sort of the classic keys. Okay, guys, so that's going to be it for showing off some of my mini-series here. And hopefully I'll be coming at you soon with some more. So thanks for watching and keep collecting. And let me know in the comments there what you guys like to read, what mini-series you really appreciated or specific arcs. Because I'm always looking for more stuff to keep my eye out for. So we'll catch you later. Thanks for watching. You can go now. That's it. Seriously, the video's over. I got some other things to do. If you could go, that'd be great. Seriously.